Alright, what's up YouTube? We're back. This is going to be kind of a, let's move the camera, bit of a channel update and a re-review of this thing. Mostly a re-review of this thing. This is the Kurt Cobain road-worn Jaguar. It comes like this. I didn't ding it and scratch it. It just comes like this. I did do an original video comparing this and the Kurt Cobain Mustang, and like I said in a past video, I wasn't super fair on this thing at the time. So we're going to redo it quickly and see what happened since then and just talk about it in general. So what is this? This is the Kurt Cobain road-worn Jaguar. Like I said, it is modeled after Kurt Cobain's Jaguar, so all the same mods. DiMarzio pickups, three-way selector here instead of the normal sliders. You've still got the gap for one of the sliders. Tunematic bridge, 3 controls instead of the normal 2. Knobs are changed. All the metal parts are kind of aged. You get a bound neck, which is not standard on most Jaguars, with the smaller Strat style headstock. Godo tuners, and I think that's about it for the special features. The rhythm circuit still works the same way. You get, I think it's 2 volumes in 1 tone. I could be wrong. I'm not plugged in. We're not gonna, if you want to hear samples of it, there's plenty on my channel. I'm also tuned to D on this thing, like I said in the past. It is made in Mexico. These things are no longer available. Fender has finally discontinued them after many, many years. So if you want one, you are going to be having to look into the used market, sadly. I've had a lot of requests in comments and stuff as to where people can get this or the Mustang. They're discontinued. I think they stopped at some point in 2016. So like I say, the only way you can get these now is through the used market, or if you happen to stumble upon a shop that still has one new old stock. Another thing I didn't mention is that the back plate is kind of a commemorative Kurt Cobain design. I don't know if that'll come through. There you go. It's based on something he drew in a notebook. I think they just used that. Now, I gave this thing a very hard time the first time around when I was talking about it for 2 reasons. One, the fret ends were very sharp. They're still not great, but yeah, the fret ends are very sharp. They were a lot worse. And secondly, it took literally 2 years for the neck to stop moving. Every time I would pick this thing up, the neck was front bowing. I had to, and to adjust it, you have to take the neck completely off because the adjustment is in there. There is no thrush rod adjustment at the head. So that was a pain for 2 years. Since then, since I did the video, like shortly after I took it off one last time, adjusted it, one last time, I was going to actually go to the official Fender repair retailer, whatever you want to call it, here in Montreal, to just basically, they were going to take the neck off, send it back to Fender, send me a new neck, because, like I say, it wouldn't stop front bowing no matter what I did. And it's not like the temperatures change a lot. I try and keep my house at about 20 degrees Celsius all year round. But yeah, there you go. It's since settled, like I said. It's been solid. I haven't had to touch it. It's been maybe a year and a half now since I last had to adjust it. It's not moved. I've kept this thing tuned to C, like I said. And the other little change I did is I actually filed down the fret ends. They're still not perfect, but I don't want to ruin the binding because these things kind of sit over the binding. I don't want to scratch up the binding, so they're as good as they're gonna get, basically. And it's a lot better than what it was. It's not something I would suggest you try and do yourself because you're gonna have a hard time finding a replacement neck if you mess things up, and a fret job is gonna cost you. But it improved it a lot for me, playability wise. Like I said, standard bridge, both neck, rhythm circuit on the neck only with separate volume and tone controls. What a lot of people will do is just roll these off to 0 and just use this as a kill switch. It does sound different. Again, I did samples in the original video if you want to go back and listen to those. It does make a difference. It sounds different. It sounds a bit darker, warmer than if you just leave it on the lead circuit and pick the neck pickup only. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say. It's settled. It's completely playable. I enjoy playing the guitar now, finally, after a long time. It's not just something that I'm leaving on my wall as like a Nirvana Kurt Cobain poster anymore. And I think I said this in another video. Would I now recommend this over the Mustang? Still no, because the Mustang was about $300 cheaper than this thing. And I don't know, the Mustang is still one of my favorite guitars out of all the guitars I own, whereas this thing, like I said, I've tuned to D and I kind of use it when I want to play stuff that's D-tuning, but it's not my go-to guitar. It is a lot better now that like I've fixed it up and the neck has stopped moving, but it's still not my favorite guitar. It's cool looking, don't get me wrong, it's very cool looking with all the distressing that they did. But yeah, so just thought I would make a quick Oh, and one last thing, because someone asked me, because I did do a video about how to lock the bridge on a Mustang, and someone asked if they could do the same thing on a Jaguar. There's no need to do anything special on a Jaguar or Jazzmaster, because you have a little button here that slides in and out. If you place the bridge where you want it, and then slide it back, it effectively locks this piece. There's no way this is going to move. It's sitting on top of this, and it's locked. So it's as simple as that for a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster. If you want to lock the bridge, move this pin. If you want to unlock it, push it back forward, and your bridge is now floating again. Simple as that. The only other thing I will say about this guitar is it is impossible to get the intonation right. The saddle on the 6th string here is all the way back, and my note is still off, and I can't bring it further back. So there's no way for me to get the intonation perfect. So it's always going to be a little bit off. I don't know if that was done by design or just by the fact that this is not the standard bridge piece that's supposed to be on a Jaguar. I don't know if it was done on purpose because Kurt Cobain's actual one was exactly like this and there was no way you could get the intonation right. Like one of my friends said to me, I highly doubt Kurt Cobain really cared a ton about his intonation being slightly off. So there you go. Just a quick re-review, I guess, of the Fender Kurt Cobain Road Worn Jaguar. Still not my favorite guitar, but it is a lot better, and I do actually enjoy playing this thing now that it has settled and that I fixed it up and set it up properly. Set it up properly is not really correct term here because you shouldn't have to file down the fret ends as a normal setup. But yeah, sending down the frets, getting the neck to settle, and it's made a world of difference, and I now, like I said, greatly enjoy playing this thing. So, small channel update while we're here. I did get the season pass for Resident Evil 7 for those that care about my gaming portion of the channel. Sadly, because I opted to get the Play Anywhere, so Xbox and Windows Store Play Anywhere Resident Evil 7, which worked fine for the main game. You guys saw me play all the way through it on PC. I bought the season pass the same way, and there seems to be no way to get the DLC to work on PC through the Windows Store right now, even to the fact where Microsoft has now taken the DLC packs completely off the Windows Store. I talked to, I think, 2 or 3 people in their support, and they could not get this resolved. There's just no way for me to play the DLC right now. So I do have it. By the time I can actually record myself playing it, it's probably going to be so far down the line that it's not going to matter. And like I said in another video, even by now, most of you that really, really cared have probably watched someone else on PlayStation 4 play through all the DLC. So it kind of sucks. I might end up doing it anyway, but probably not because, like I say, by now most of you that actually really want to see the DLC have already seen it, played it yourself, or just watched someone else play it. There's one final episode for Silent Hill that I'll be uploading probably tomorrow morning. And afterwards, that's it for games that I'm currently playing right now. So again, if you guys want me to play through anything else or any kind of video you guys want to see, just comment and I'll see what I can do. But there you go, quick re-review and a quick channel update.